they are committed to defending, and that's, as you know, I know a lot of the internet sites or whatever have kind of pointed out that the defense under Brad, his second and third year before Al Horford was here, was pretty good, better than you think it was, and that's going to be the kind of year everyone just assumes the Celtics are going to be a bad defensive team. Well, a lot of defense is your desire to play it.
Effort, incredibly important. We always talk about it. Last year, that was one of the concerns. Would the night-in, night-out effort be there? Clearly it wasn't. And, part of it, too, is and it goes back to the preseason, both this year and last year, like you said. The thing all the Celtics have really harped on, aside from saying fresh start over and over, is that need for chemistry. You could trace it back to the FIBA tournament over the summer when 4 Celts participated. In fact, here's what 2 of them, Marcus Smart and new All-NBA guard Kemba Walker, had to say following that win Saturday in New York.
Last year for us was really big, was the chemistry. Some days we had it, some days we didn't. So this year I just wanted to make sure the chemistry was there, the bonds was there, and everybody was comfortable off the court with everybody. And I think the best way is if we get around each other as much as possible.
It matters. We want to be as close as possible. I've always been a big believer at, when you do things off the court and you ready to get along and like each other, it translates on the court. It makes you want to play for your brother. So yeah, it's many things that we can do together, man. It'll be beneficial for us.
Smart actually planned a team bonding event yesterday. Everyone gathered to watch the new Terminator movie, which is just so fitting in a lot of ways. But it is early and we can't say it enough. But this group has already felt so much more united, I think, at least as an outsider's perspective. Do you feel that way, or do we just want to believe that because they're obviously so much more likable? What do you trace it to?
I think some of it's there, but a lot of things are there in the preseason and early that when you're losing has that effect. Is it going to losing can break that up if you start losing a bunch of games. And I'd point out I don't want to be this guy that I told you so guy, but when everybody went crazy about the flight last year, right? The flight to San Francisco, and everything is cured, and it was a good flight to San Francisco, right? And everybody was talking and whatever, and that's great. And they went out and beat Golden State by about 80 in the next game, and they won the first couple of games of that road trip. But it's a long year. There's a lot of ups and downs, and wanting to believe is a great way to phrase that, because I think that has a lot to do with the last 2 years. It had a lot to do with Kyrie. Was a lot of us, a lot of people in Celtics Nation, people in the organization just wanting very much to believe that Kyrie was not the exact same dude that he always was in Cleveland. And that's not a knock. Kyrie was Kyrie. You know who's going to be in Brooklyn? He's going to be Kyrie.
Yep.
So you can't will yourself into chemistry.
As we continue to progress, it will become more cerebral out there on the floor. In the NBA, it's hard to manage a game when you're trading baskets. It's one of the most difficult things to do, to separate yourself in a game when you go up 5 and then you give up a 3, give up a 2, fouls, slowing the game down. So, we still have a lot of experience to garner with each other. So, not to get too high or too low. Welcome to the big stage. It's going to be like that sometimes, and you're going to have guys play out of their, kind of their comfort zone when you're playing against certain players. And I'm used to it. I've had game winners shot on me, down the stretch so many times. So, it's just throw one in the bank and, just try to get better from this, watch film, get better defensively. Just got to compete better on that end and get more consistency, and then our offense will take care of itself.
What's the key to strengthening that chemistry on the defensive side of the ball?
Just communication, and more importantly, physicality. We just got to bring the fight to the other team. They were really comfortable at times, and like I said, guys that don't normally make plays, they were making plays tonight, and they had a great, comfortable game. So, you just look back at film, see where you could be position-wise, and just move on.
On the defensive end specifically, chemistry and cohesion, that usually can come with playing time and familiarity. But from a physicality angle, that doesn't necessarily just breed with cohesion. How do you guys correct that?
Well, it's just a choice, getting back, making sure that you're not over-aggressive on certain defensive sequences, out of position. That does have something to do with cohesion when you bring the physicality on defensive end. I don't know how many games you've watched over your lifetime. I know you've watched it a long time, but when you have the physicality and you have the mind up here from head up. You know your spots and you can play off instincts, and your teammates can trust where you're going to be, and they know where your aggression is going to take them to another level. You know, just like me at the head of the snake, or I'm on the backside at the end of the game. You know, that's physicality brought. You know, I'm covering J.A. You know, Jay's like, thank you for having my back. Of course, I'm supposed to. You know, that's something that you bring to the game. That's a choice.
What did you think of Morant's performance tonight? What do you like that you saw from him?
Oh, man, I mean, I expected him to come out aggressive, you know, be who he is. Got downhill a few times, finished over our bigs. You know, didn't really hit the outside shot tonight, which we wanted to encourage, but he did what he's pretty great at what he's known for, and that's getting in the paint, playing with a lot of passion, and I think he showed that tonight.